of all the different things that a sign represents, all of its qualities, all of its different natures and so on, the one that I find most useful when I look at people's Rahu and Ketu, the one I usually end up talking to most people about the most time, is the element of the Rashi that Rahu and Ketu are in. The elements are always going to be different in opposite signs. If you've got Rahu or Ketu in a fire sign, the other one will be in an air sign. If you have Rahu or Ketu in a water sign, the other one will always be in an earth sign. So they'll be different. And the elements are just such an important part of, the occult sciences. Whether we use 4 elements for the signs or 5 elements for the planets, it's a critical part of astrology. And I definitely see that the elements of the signs seem to just have a more significant influence upon the people than any of the other parts of the signs. And so I almost always see when I'm finding a problem that people are struggling with in their sign, just consistently where they're doing the same limiting and frustrating thing over and over again, most of the time, more often than any other indication of the signs, it's the element that helps me, show them what they're doing, okay? So fire Rashis are concerned with being the life that they are. Fire is essential life. Life is just this desire to grow and express, okay? Fire, when you think of it, it wants to consume things. If you look at the fire element in nature, it's consuming a log or a building, whatever, and it's doing that because it just wants to grow and express itself and shine. And that's what fire element signs are all about. They just really want to shine as for what they are, okay? So in some ways we can look at fire signs as signs that want self-expression, okay? It's not the best word for it, it's more there's the energy there to shine, the same way that fire just wants to shine and grow as big as it can. Same with fire signs, okay? Earth Rashis are concerned with material objects, okay? So Rahu or Ketu in an earth sign will be having a lot of their lessons in life, a lot of their limitations and frustrations will very much revolve around concrete things. Or by making everything concrete, they'll experience a lot of limitations. Air Rashis are about social interaction. The Air Rashis are about interchange, social interaction, connections between other people, getting information from other people. Those are the more social signs. They're about movement, okay, and change. And that's what happens with people. People change us. People move us into different spaces, move our thoughts with their communications and words. So fire signs are always opposite air signs. So fire signs just want to express self and want to shine. But what air signs want to do, they want to exchange and move and change. Okay? And they do that through interactions with other people and other things. And then we have water Rashis, which are concerned with more emotional needs, which means to be feeling connected. Air signs want to exchange and change, but water signs want to feel connected. And there's quite a bit of difference between those two things. Now what's really important is, based on the elements of Rahu and Ketu's signs, we try to connect to life that way. We feel comfortable connecting to life based on the element that Ketu's in. And we struggle making connections with the element that's Rahu's in. But we literally will connect to life through the element, Really, everything is about connecting to life. And Ketu always shows where we feel like we can connect to life safely and in a way that will work. Rahu shows where we're unsure of connecting safely, or we think it's impossible for us to connect that way. Okay? And the element has a huge role in that. So, fire element signs are going to connect through experiencing inspiration. Okay? They're going to connect to what inspires them, it makes them want to shine. Same way that the fire shines when it gets the right fuel, a fire element person connects to the things that pump them up, that make them shine and burn brighter, that get them excited about things, okay? So a fire element person is going to something that is in line with what they are, with what type of fuel they want to burn, they'll get really excited about. Other things they just won't care about. Same way that fire will burn wood, it'll burn gasoline, it'll burn cloth, it'll burn paper, but when it gets to the brick wall, it just stops, and burns down and fizzles down and doesn't care, it gets apathetic. Fire sign people do the same thing, okay? Then Earth connects life through the senses and experiencing concrete objects. So Earth sign is going to try to connect to others, kind of connect through life, through the medium of something external, through a project, through a thing, through something external, through money possibly, but through something that's physical, external, basically through some physical object, possibly the body, okay? Air is going to connect through intellect, and by intellect I mean by exchanging of ideas, by communication, which reveals our intellect, which reveals what's in our thought. But basically, they connect by revealing what's in their thought and listening and hearing what's in the thoughts of others. Okay, and they work with whatever it is that they can interchange with. So, like fire, for instance, when it'll burn everything it can burn. When it gets to the brick wall, it stops. It gets apathetic and doesn't care. So a fire element person will be into what they're into, and the minute the conversation goes into something that isn't exciting to them, they just don't care about him talking to you anymore. But an air element person will be just as happy to talk to you about things that they don't even know exist, that they have no natural impulse for. They'll find a way to make it interesting, and they'll think of it in a thoughtful way, and they'll somehow find ways that can support them in who knows what, and anything they might be doing. But they'll benefit from the interchange. So imagine we have something that can adapt to where it can burn wood, but then if it gets to a wall, it can benefit from that wall too. And so it can continue to be happy about it. That's what air elements are very capable of. And then water connects life through feeling. Okay? This is through empathy and through feeling, through emotions. They connect through their life to life. So depending on what signs you've got your Rahu and Ketu on, we're very much going to try to connect through life in certain ways and have great difficulties connecting through life in different ways. And like I said, when I talk about people's Rahu and Ketu and the signs, I spend most of the time on the element. And then of course there's talking to them about their house and talking to them about their nakshatra. But really the element and the lord of the sign is what I spend most of the time talking about, and I usually find more often I need to spend a little more time talking to them about the element. So I'm going to go through the 4 different possible, I think it's 4, permutations of Rahu and Ketu in the elements in the next 4 videos.